Copenhagen, summer 2018. 6 days till Pride. 2 gay men are found drowned in one of the major parks in the city. They're both bound with packing tape on hands and feet, and both have slurs written on their clothes. The police are officially considering cancelling the event on grounds of public safety. Meanwhile, a dusty room is barely illuminated by a few candles along the walls. Scrolls, books, and parchments cover practically every surface. Most of them look so old they could come apart if someone breathed forcefully in their direction. A male voice chuckles as a book is opened. Emblazoned on the front is the arms of House Dougal. A piece of parchment falls to the ground. It looks like a family tree. The only name immediately legible is Julian Lowendahl. Meanwhile, having convinced the powers that be that Thomas Winter is not guilty of the crimes he stood accused of, the motley nonetheless has more work ahead of them. The plot is rapidly thickening. Someone or something is still moving pieces on the chessboard, and Copenhagen is teetering on the edge of violence. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Copenhagen Dreaming. I think we're all here today, so without further ado, I think we shall hand it over to Chris for a recap.
The tension mounts. Last time on Copenhagen Dreaming. Yes, we concluded the battle, the short scuffle that we had between us and 2 redcaps in the location that I believe we discovered was actually adjacent to, well, basically part of the freehold of Crimson, a native meat city. We kept people from hurting Bloody Alice, who had surrendered, and we were required by our by practicality and by tradition to not hurt her and to figure out what to do with her. We also managed to continue to heal Cecil, who had been hung up on meat hooks down there, and try and get her into a state where she would actually survive, even if her mind is going to be quite fragile for a long time to come. Eventually, we met up with Felicia, who was very impressed by our efforts and suggested that we actually do take Alice to the summer court in order to be held to trial for her actions. Although when we got there, we found out that the Duchess Rosensbar was still there, having stormed into the place, demanding to have an audience with Duke Hardenberg, and she had been snubbed by basically being made to wait for him to allow her to enter. So the old thing that even though both the courts are ostensibly meant to be equal, the summer court is only somewhat more equal than the winter court in these matters. And there was a shouting match going on between the 2 of them that everybody in the entirety of the summer court could hear. But we were able to bring Bloody Alice to Elizabeth, the Duke's daughter, and explain the situation. And Elizabeth decided to use the power of sovereign, which we've heard nothing but bad things about, on Bloody Alice in order to compel her to stop her vile pontificating and actually answer some goddamn questions, which she kind of did, sort of. Eventually, the Duchess left from her little meeting with the Duke. She was cordial enough to us to say that she was looking forward to hearing from us later before she left. And then the Duke came out. He was angry, and he also interrogated Alice, basically asking why she in the Shadow Court had decided to kill Julian when he was basically harmless. And it turns out that it was basically because of Julian's grandfather, the Duke's good friend during the Resurgence War, who it wasn't named, but we're still suspecting it was Ivar Koss, because of course of the relation with House Dougal, as part mentioned in your stinger earlier. After much more of this, we discovered more things about what happened. Alice, basically through her various confessions and her ramblings, cleared Thomas Winter of his guilt. And we learned a few interesting things about the fact that, mainly that the entirety of Reinhardt's motley, not just Ratigan and Cecil, were under the influence of the Gias. And apparently the Duke was under one as well, though she assured us that we would never find out what the trigger for this Gias was. So who knows? Something that's pop up later in the campaign. And of course, we were told that if we were to, try and tell him that he was under some kind of influence, he would never believe it. He thinks far too highly of himself. And after that, we basically left her to the mercy of the Summer Court, or the justice of the Summer Court. And
Same thing, really.
About to say, mercy is probably better formulated.
Mm-hmm. That's basically what I said. So I changed it from mercy, thinking, hold on, there's no mercy here.
Okay, yes.
But Elizabeth came to us afterwards and explained that she would actually like us to look into the things that her father is hiding from her and from the court, because although she obviously dearly cares about her father and doesn't want to go behind his back or anything, she is concerned that what he's hiding is actually going to do more damage to the Fae in Denmark than it is by keeping it quiet. It will do more damage than if it was revealed, rather. So she suggested that we go and talk to some Fae around the city who are old enough to have remembered and been alive during the Resurgence War. Afterwards, we realised that we'd kind of left a delay on something important, and we made our way to the Winter Court and made a call to Xenia Dalgor regarding her meeting up with the Duchess to test powers of sovereign on a werewolf and see how they're able to function. When we met up with Xenia, we got the very bad news that the fantastic Mr. Bacon, a puka who was known to brave the utter and incessant banality of hospitals to provide laughter to terminally ill children, has been killed. And the last thing he said as he died in the presence of, in the arms actually, of Nadia Petrescu, sure shot another werewolf in Xenia's company, was that the shadows did it. Whether that's meant to be literally the shadows or if he's obliquely referencing the Shadow Court isn't clear, though we suspect it's the Shadow Court. Throughout the meeting with the Duchess, Xenia wonders when the Duchess is going to start trying to influence her, and the Duchess informs her that she had been trying to influence her throughout the entire conversation, and she just wasn't affected. But it did work on Nadia. So the point was that the proof that this power can be used on werewolves, but Xenia is such a willful and powerful individual that it just had no effect on her. Basically, the end result of all of this is that we had successfully cleared Thomas Winter of any guilt relating to the accusation that he had murdered Julian Lowendale. So his honour is intact, and he is free to go and return to his duties in the Summer Court. But we have now been given a new task by the Duchess in concurrence with the task that Elizabeth Hardenberg has set us, which is basically to start investigating as much as we can about the hidden secrets of the Resurgence War and all the things that Duke Hardenberg is trying to keep from becoming public knowledge. And we, I think, said the last thing we were going to do for this session was we were going to head back to the Summer Court one more time to check on Reinhardt and his motley and basically to inform them, that the guess that some of you have been under, you've all got one, apparently. And then after that, we were going to basically go and get some rest because we've basically been going almost 3 days straight. We haven't seen our parents or family much. They barely remember what we look like.
Pretty much.
So yeah.
I mean, even if they weren't gonna give us permission to snoop around, I'm pretty sure at least some of us would be curious enough to, go look on our own.
Of course.
The fact that we've been given permission just enables our curiosity.
Of course, best put our talents to good use.
Yes, let's go snooping.
But yes, first we should, unless we change our minds, we should probably head back to the Summer Court and break the news to Reinhardt and co.
You're forgetting about the whole healing thing.
The whole what thing?
That most of us actually need to be healed.
That is true.
And on that note, actually, those who registers those kind of things, I look like I'm completely healed.
Interesting.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's not the same effect for Sonny. He were busy healing you guys up.
Poor Sonny. Okay, so do we all want to go and get healed first and then go to the summer court, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, especially if we're planning on going home at some point.
Yes.
It's not nice to show up with burn wounds all over your body.
No,
That might just worry your parents. Just might.
maybe. Okay.
Also to consider the
So where would we go to get healed at this time of evening/night?
also to consider the whole thing about not wanting to go to the hospital and try to explain that to your parents.
Oh, right, yeah.
We're gonna go to Vigo's place.
To whose place?
Vigo's place.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked.
I always go there when I don't want to go home because I don't want to be sent to the hospital.
Does Vigo know how to heal?
He does.
I think so.
He does.
I always feel better after I eat his food.
Sure. I mean, we need to talk to him anyways, right?
Okay. So where we headed? Okay, so will we be able to see him at this time, do you reckon?
It's not. I mean, it was only about, if I remember correctly, I think it was about 9-ish around this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. So
Also,
give me-
I've shown up way later. He doesn't seem to mind that much.
Okay.
Lead the way then.
Alright. Seems like he's been walking this route many times before.
So you head to Vigo's place.
Yes.
Yes.
Good old Vigo.
The hyggely old fart.
Yep. Let's find him.
Yes, and show him to the lovely, lovely people.
I'm lovely.
Yes,
He's
of
a
course.
boggin.
They're lovely.
This old geezer. Yes.
Gotta love
I seriously love the fact that he has the kindest smile and looks like it's completely toothless.
I mean,
Yep.
yes.
Well, anyway, you go to Vigo's place. Takes you about 20 minutes to get there.
And then I suppose we go a knocking.
Har har, the knocker goes a knocking, perhaps.
I mean, if we want him, if we want him to.
Well, in any case, you get there, and he does answer the door when whoever is doing the knocking knocks on the door. He does come in and open. Oh, hello everyone. That's a lot of people at this hour. Come in.
Thank you.
Hey again.
Do I smell bacon?
Aww.
Is something wrong?
Not bacon.
What's wrong?
We can tell you in a moment. Thank you for letting us in.
Oh, of course. You do look a little singed, all of you.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a kerfuffle with Crimson.
Oh.
Don't worry, we won.
That's bad. I've got some food in the kitchen. Do you want some? It's just ham and eggs.
Yeah, that would be nice.
June, you're evil!
If you need confirmation.
Right. He goes and brings everyone a plate of food if they want one. For some strange reason, he's got enough for all of you, even though he didn't know that you were coming over.
It's uncanny.
It's nice.
And that's because I think Vigo just makes food. Because people have a tendency to drop by unannounced all the time.
It is very much part of the. It's very much part of the Boggan's sort of quirk that they are very, 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 very good housekeepers like that. They're very good
Yep.
hosts.
Yeah. and they're so sure that the issue in our group should be one of them.
Okay, so he has food.
We are fed.
Who among us can eat this food without feeling somewhat sad?
Great. Give me a moment.
Agnes definitely can.
I'm going to say that since I didn't catch that one, Jonas doesn't either.
Okay.
I think normally he doesn't associate people with
Yep,
food.
he can.
Okay. That's good, but yeah, not going to turn down. He's going. And again, the point of us enjoying his hospitality is that eating some food might actually heal us. So
That too. At least it tastes extremely well.
It
So
does.
you know.
It does. And he lets you all sit down and relax a little, and he looks so what had happened?
Well, first things first, we bought Crimson in the Meat City. And Bloody Alice, who's right now in custody. And
Off the summer
saved
court, then.
Cecil.
Oh my goodness. I'm impressed by all of that, and I'm very happy to hear that Cecil is okay.
The reason I kind of groaned at bacon is... Well, we talked with a friend earlier tonight, and they found the fantastic bacon dead.
Oh no. No. Oh, but he was such a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
Are you sure? Oh no.
They asked us if we had more than one who would dress as a clown.
Oh no.
Hmm.
That is a terrible, terrible thing. Oh dear. I suppose I shall have to arrange a funeral for him. He didn't have any family, you know.
Yeah, I heard.
Well,
Wasn't that the reason he
apart from
always
us,
went
of
in
course, of course. So sorry, isn't it the reason why?
there? Wasn't it one of the reasons why he always went to the hospital to cheer up the children?
I think so. It was, his way of giving back a little bit of laughter to the world when he didn't have children of his own to do so towards. For some reason the ladies never thought much of him.
I don't get it. He was a class-A dude.
He certainly was. He certainly was.
Yes,
Evil storyteller.
I'm horrible like that.
yes. It was, as far as the evidence suggests, it was the Shadow Court's doing.
They are making things worse and worse every day, aren't they?
But that does seem to be their mission in life.
I'm sorry I'm not much of a laugh right now, but he was an old friend, obviously.
You cut out.
You're cutting out, Joe.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry I'm not much fun right now, but he was an old friend of mine, and we've been friends for many years.
I don't worry about it. I don't think you could be expected to be much fun with such grave news. If it helps, we caught Alice and at least chimerically ended Crimson.
Well, I'm glad that you caught her, and we can hope that he's not coming back for a long time, if at all.
And it looks like the whole ordeal with Thomas is going to go the right way.
Oh, thank you. Some good news at last. I'm glad to hear it. Thomas is a very good man. Oh,
Agreed.
Oh, I'm sorry, I seem to have forgotten. He gets up and goes back out to the kitchen and comes back with his cookie jar.
Ooh, cookies.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir. Sir. Only one.
But...
Only one. You've been eating a lot of cookies lately.
Arr.
You're bloody lucky that you actually don't die from chocolate now.
Arr, 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 arr.
If you're not sweet, I will start giving you light cookies without sugar in them.
He whines.
Mm-hmm.
Lies
them
flat
all
on the ground and
equal
looks, you know, like you've just, you know, you've wounded him deeply.
He just looks at him, unimpressed. Doggone it, they are starting to get immune.
Maybe a cookie and a half?
Only if you're very, 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 very good.
You see his tail starts wagging. He's still pressed flat to the floor, but his tail is wagging. So, but anyway, Vigo distributes cookies for everyone, and the point, of course, being that the cookies actually heal you a health level.
Yay!
Yay!
I'll tuck my cookie into a pocket and save it for later.
Yep, he doesn't mind that at all.
Thank you very much.
Yay, I'm down to bruise.
I'm fully healed.
Sorry for some people.
I thought I was the one to get the most hurt.
No, that was me. I had the most levels of aggravated.
Yeah, because you
and
had
I
some
removed
left
all your
over.
lethal.
Yeah.
Can I see
Let me
this?
see. I have 2 levels of aggravated, I think, so I'm going to heal one of those now.
You got one healed by Sunny earlier. You just didn't remove it.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. You got singed for 2. Sunny healed 1 with his gift. And all your lethal.
So you should be perfectly healthy now as well.
Wasn't that was that back in the abattoir, or was that later?
That
was when we... Yes, that's when we got back to the summer court.
In that case, yeah, I did miss it. I'm just checking. Okay. Healthy glow resumes in Shasmin's features.
And Sunny is only slightly singed.
Yes.
But he can't help it. He is that hot.
Yes, it gives it...
What? I'm not allowed to make puns now? After your atrocious ones earlier?
You're allowed to make puns as much as you like, and I'm allowed to groan at them as much as I like.
Good. And we got that one cleared.
So, yeah. Thank you so much for the heat for this. It's still had a few aches and pains from the fight.
It's perfectly all right. I'm just glad that I can be of help. But I'm shocked about Mr. Bacon. And you can see his bottom lip begins to quiver, and there are tears in his eyes.
Aww. Sunny hugs him.
Yeah, he begins to weep. It's very clear this was a good friend of his.
Pains me that we should all be the bearer of bad news to you like this.
Agnes go out into the kitchen to make him a cup of tea.
That is definitely appreciated. You realize that he has got no less than 40 different kinds of tea in that kitchen.
Wow.
He obviously frequents Petches then.
Yes.
Well, obviously she's a bit overwhelmed and then starts sniffing all of them, and then she's just one that smells a bit like Baldrian.
Oh, right. Yes.
Like a calming...
Yes. That is... Yes. Definitely. No problem. You make him some calming tea and you know, bring it back into the living room for him, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
Last time I had tea with Baldrian, my fucking cats ate it because Baldrian is like a drug to them. I came home with tea all over the floor.
No.
Two cats completely high in the middle of it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, people use them when they're doing cat shows as well to just give them a drop or something on a piece of cloth to calm them down.
Yeah. Jesus.
Okay, so you give him a cup of tea, and he very gratefully takes it and sips it and sits down and looks at all of you and says, "So, you know, I knew his father too.
You did?
Yeah, way back years ago.
Was he a puka too?
Yes, he was
What kind?
a cat.
A cat.
It
Oh,
was a cat puka. He did.
I've only
He
met
did
one
the
of those.
whole. He did the whole score from Aristocats better than anyone else.
I can somewhat see that.
He was popular with the ladies, I should say.
So he was like Thomas O'Malley.
Oh yeah. So, all this fighting, and why do I have this ugly feeling that we're on the verge of something really, really serious? And with people being killed, I mean, dreamers, normal people being killed in the streets, and there was that story this morning about those two men that were found floating in the park. It was just dreadful.
Oh goodness, we hadn't even heard of that. We've been so busy wandering around.
He reaches out to the side and takes like an old-fashioned newspaper, actually paper newspaper, and hands it over to you and points to a place in the on the page that he's been reading, which is about the sting that I started by reading.
Oh dear.
Jonas reads over your shoulder, and his jaw definitely tightens.
I can imagine.
This used to be such a nice city. What happened to it this last month or so?
I'm afraid it has to do with the lady, at least some of it.
Oh, that dragon is a terror.
Yeah, she teamed up with the Shadow Court too.
Well, that can only lead to misery and pain.
As far as I understood, the Steel wants to remake the Resurgence War once more.
Oh no.
And she wants vengeance for something.
It was bad enough the first time. We don't need that again.
We may not need it, but that insane old thing certainly wants it, and we have the dubious honor of being tasked by both Summer and Winter Courts, in a way, to try and stop it.
I wouldn't call that a dubious honor. I would call that a great honor. And I
Well,
hope you succeed.
As do we.
Yes, it's... So that is also part of the reason why we've come to you, Vigo. If that's all right.
Yes, of course.
We don't really want to speak ill of anyone who fought in the Summer or Winter Courts during the Resurgence War, but it's becoming very clear that a lot of secrets were hidden away.
Oh dear.
Secrets about the war that
Yes.
that the Duke and others don't want to come to light for the damage they might do, but
That is true.
not knowing them is causing enough damage as it is, and now...
I mean, you have to remember that he was a much younger man back then, the Duke, that is.
Of course.
He was a young man and full of all the impetuousness of youth. So was I, for that matter. I mean, those of us who are old enough to remember that, we're very few these days. It's been, nearly 50 years? It has been 50 years, in fact.
Maybe there's some significance to the year.
There just might be. You never know.
But yes, we've learned many things while trying to prove Thomas's innocence. Not least of which is, well, we know that the reason that poor Julian was targeted in the first place was because of his association with House Dougal and his grandfather.
Yes, that was Ivar. I remember him.
Yes, we've
not for the good.
No, we've not heard anything good about him either. But he was
Perhaps you could tell us more about him.
Well, I don't know much about him. I did my best to avoid him, which is probably why I'm still here. He had this idea that if you were a commoner, you were probably in league with the trolls. And if you were in league with the trolls, you were an enemy. And if you were an enemy, you didn't deserve to live. I think the math kind of solves itself.
Of course.
Yeah.
Which means that he killed an awful lot of people. It was criminal. It was criminal even then. War or not, there are just some things you don't do.
Well, it seems that the damage he did is killing people even now. At least his own family.
But that is wrong too. Julian might have been his grandson, but he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
We can't blame the children for the sins of the parents.
Yeah, we said that too. But Alice said that the reason he was targeted was because of that. That his grandfather was a Dougal. And that was enough.
How do we go about killing that many people without getting caught up in all the banality?
Because most of the killing happened in the dreaming. Most of it.
I think we witnessed some of that.
And to be honest with you, I think in the end, the banality did catch up to him. I also know that some of the kills he carried out himself. Others he had his dragon commit.
Kindle.
Yes, Kindle. And he... Yes. Well, nobody knows where he went.
Well, he must at least have lived in long enough to make an heir who then made Julian.
Oh, right, yes, him certainly. No, I meant Kindle. Nobody knows where the dragon went.
Oh.
Interesting.
What about the lady during that time?
See, that's the problem. There were rumors that... I mean, I lived here in Copenhagen at the time, right?
Mm.
But at the time, Denmark wasn't an autonomous area. We were ruled from Stockholm in Sweden. And the lady and, well, you know how the Duke wanted to set Denmark free and make it an independent nation in well, for us as well as it is for mortals, right?
Mm.
Well, he wasn't strong enough on his own. So the rumors say that he tried to make more dragon allies.
Like the lady.
Nobody has ever known if that happened for sure, but presumably yes. I don't know any more than that. It's just rumors.
Well, if that was the nature of their bargain, it didn't end well for either of them. We heard from bloody Alice, and again, it's hard to know if she was speaking true, but I don't know if she didn't seem to be the kind of person who would have anything to hide. She claimed that the lady's actions in aiding the court in swearing revenge on the Duke is because he destroyed her entire egg brood.
I don't know anything about that, to be honest.
No. But it might be a connection between the rumor and what has been said.
Of course. I'm simply saying I don't know if that rumor is true or not. My rumor or yours, or it's all just rumors.
Yes.
What might help us? We've already been in the dreaming once and seen some of what happened. It was unpleasant. But if we were to go back to see if we could find out more, where would we look?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, there was an actual battle. It was down by the beach. Down where that art museum is located now, the Ark.
Yeah?
There's down by the beach down there. There was a huge battle. Might look there.
That's a good idea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Were you saying something, Agnes?
Yeah, I was just wondering how old the dragon actually gets.
I think as old as they can. Oh, sorry, please.
And if they can sort of hibernate like other lizards, smaller lizards.
I don't know, but you could go and ask the ones down by the stock exchange.
That's true, if they want to talk to us.
True.
I know one of them likes flattery. At least Stefan said that in one of his stories.
That's true, we could try that. I mean, if no one ever saw Kindle again, is it possible that he can just be sort of curled up somewhere?
Oh, another dragon hibernating. That would be a scary thought.
Vigo nods at that and goes, yes, actually, that would be a very scary thought.
But it would have to be somewhere quite large.
It would have to, yes. It would need to be a place where he would fit, but he would also, he would hibernate in the dreaming.
That's true, but does the physical body actually move to there?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know if there's a trot near Argen?
I haven't been down there for years, so I don't know, actually.
Otherwise, we'll have to find our way there through the dreaming, and that seems like a confusing task.
I wish I knew.
Of course, I'm just thinking out loud. Do you know how to navigate the dreaming more efficiently?
Well, the thing is, I kind of know my way around in there, so I don't really think about it much. It's much like the waking world, the real world, whatever you want to call it. Just without all the buildings and stuff.
Yeah, I suppose we can't just take an S train to nearby station.
No, that won't happen.
Well, in that case, we should probably plan ahead if we plan to do an expedition in there.
That sounds like a very wise precaution. Planning ahead is a good idea. Remember, bring cookies.
Right, of course. I'm sure we can count on Jasmine to bake some.
Of course, absolutely.
I mean, I assume you're good at baking cookies, but if you're not, then please tell.
No, she is.
Yeah. I thought it best to learn how when I can.
Then perhaps we should call it an evening and then meet again soon to plan more.
So meet up at the summer court in the morning?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
That actually sounds like a good idea. I'm kind of tired now.
Yeah, and I have a few things I want to talk to my mom about.
Yeah. What time of night is it?
At this time, it's 10:30.
Awesome.
Okay.
Luckily, unluckily, my dad's still away.
Yeah. At least you have your pets, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of
Sure.
happy he's not in the city for all this.
I'm kind of happy my mom's as laissez-faire as she is.
Remember when I got you home almost 3 in the morning? She didn't even ask. She just winked at you.
I know. I don't even know what she is thinking. I don't really think I want to know what she was thinking.
Oh, come on, you secretly want to know what she was thinking.
No, I secretly already know what she was thinking.
I mean, I
Anyway.
was so sure she was going to scold me for bringing you back, so she didn't.
Well, shall we meet tomorrow at 9 or something?
Yeah. At the summer court?
Sure.
Is there anything you need, Vigo?
No, I'll be okay. I need to take a little time to get all of this digested, and then I'll look into arranging a funeral.
You want one of us to stay with you?
If you want, that would be nice.
Then I'll stay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, you can have another half a cookie.
Oh, no,
Stop
no,
looking
no,
at
no,
the
no, no, no.
bloody cookie jar.
No. And he gets another half cookie, and the dog is a very, very happy pupper.
Well, I'll get up and leave.
Yep, sure.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Thank you for the cookies and your hospitality.
Oh, you're always welcome.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
I'm glad you told me. Somebody has to, and I would much rather hear it from friends.
I can understand that sentiment.
Yeah.
See you
I'll
in the morning.
tomorrow.
Yeah, see you in the morning. Well, so basically you all head home?
Yes.
No, you don't. Okay, where do you
No.
go?
I have 2 errands to go
Sure, let's hear that.
before.
Let's hear
The
it.
first one is going back to the summer court.
Yes.
I'm trying to find someone. See the Baroness.
Yes, the Baroness is still there, yes.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm doing the most polite thing I actually can and trying to talk to her because I have this burning desire. I need to learn sovereign. And she just showed us that she knows how to do it.
Yeah. She thinks about it long and hard, and she says, she tells you, if you ever get a title, then she would be willing. The problem is that she's banned from teaching it to people without titles.
Well, that's fair. So, but that still means that I can actually learn it. So, then I know what to do.
Yes.
So, thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.
And then I'll go leave again. And I have an appointment at Aarhusgade 25.
Yes.
There's this army surplus store there.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah.
I know the one.
Yeah. And I know for a fact that the back window is quite easy to get in through. There's just a little bit of bars, but that's...
Ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, this is an in-characters thing. We do not, in fact, endorse people breaking into real-life shops. Thank you.
No.
But yeah, you can sneak in there.
Yeah. I'm going for the knife, throwing knives, and the special kind of pouch you put down that by your spine,
all
the
right,
way
yes.
down your back, so you can hide it under any kind of jacket or something like that.
Yep. Well, let's start out by getting a dexterity plus larceny check.
Let's see how much I got there. That's 5 days.
Oh my goodness, that's actually a pretty good roll. Even with the 1, that's a pretty good roll. So yeah, you do get in and you find the knives, and there's no alarm going off because you managed to sneak in without setting it off.
That's perfect. And then just because I'm in here anyways, I'll grab a duffel bag and just throw all the knives I can throw in there, just down there, just sell on later.
Yeah. You managed to get, let's say, 13 knives in all. That's what he's got in the shop.
Yeah. Is that with or without the throwing knives?
Oh yeah, that's, you find 5. He's got 5 throwing knives stuck into holders, and then he's got 13 knives on top of that.
Perfect. So I'll just when I go from here, I'll take it to Christiania and talk to one of my old mates and saying 50-50 if he sells it.
He's fine with that.
So, and that's actually what I do before I go home to sleep.
Yep, sure. Anybody else who's got something they need to do before?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Let's get Emil first.
Instead of going to his home, Charlie goes to the workshop.
Yes.
And on his way there he finds his phone and texts his girlfriend.
Yes.
And tells her everything about what happened this day.
All right. Yes.
Oh my.
Well, you get a message back the other way saying that's certainly interesting. Especially since I happen to know that we didn't kill the fantastic Mr. Bacon.
Well then, who did?
I have no idea, but it wasn't us.
Didn't think so, Ed.
No. Are you alright?
Feeling horrible been burned, had a cookie, made it better.
Oh, right. I do miss the old man's cookies, she says. Do you want me to come over?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be right there. She hangs up and goes. And it doesn't take long before she arrives. And she is quite she's happy to see you. You know, you get a big kiss basically when she gets there.
Yes. The rest of the evening will be used on trying to tinker some kind of armor together.
Yes. She offers to help if you if you want her to.
Yes, hold it'll be somewhere.
Yeah.
Hold this. Do not touch that.
Yep. No, she is quite happy to do that, and she finds she clearly finds the whole process quite intriguing because, you know, the whole creating something out of basically nothing is fascinating.
Is there any role you would like me to make?
I was actually thinking about it. I think we need intelligence plus craft.
Yes, 2 seconds.
There we go. Oh dear.
Wow.
That's a failure. It's not a botch, but it is a failure.
Well, you were the one bringing your girlfriend there. Of course you can't think straight.
I'm gonna take one of my lucky rerolls.
Sure. Ah, that's much better. That's one success, but that's easily enough, because at least that means that you succeed. So you make yourself, let's say it's the equivalent of a light flak vest or something.
Yes, and I make it in Jonas's size.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Interesting.
She does ask who it's for.
And I tell her.
Yeah, that makes her grumble a little. She's, you know, the usual, I wish you wouldn't hang out with those pointy-eared bastards.
Yeah, but it would be a damn dread if he died.
Why? I mean, honestly, why?
Because I find him a somewhat likable fellow, and
one day you're gonna realize that they're all just using us. But until that happens,
yeah, you'll have to wait. Do you want to go see a movie?
yes. Is there any place we can find a movie this time of night?
We'll find out, and that is about what I have to do for tonight.
Yeah, sure. So, and then last but not least, you had something you wanted to do, Rasmus?
Yes, as Jonas mentioned earlier, he wanted to talk to his mum.
All right. Well, yeah, you get home, and
Hey.
when you enter the kitchen, your mother emits a scream.
What? What?
Ah! There's a stranger in my kitchen! Who are you? I have no idea who you are. I've never seen you before.
Hi, Mom.
You are so grounded. You have no idea. All right, I've now lifted your grounding. Where the hell have you been?
I've been hanging out with Sonny and the guys.
For 3 days. You could have called.
Didn't I text you?
No.
I swear to-
No, you didn't.
Oh, well, we got a bit caught up in it.
Do I want to know what part of Sunny you got caught up on?
Oh, Mom. Actually, that that leads me into something I wanted to talk to you about.
Right? You know, when it is a pretty simple thing. When a bird and a bee and
In this case, wouldn't it be a bee and a bee, or a bird and a bird?
I think it would. In your case, it would be a bee and a bee, two stingy things.
But oh yeah, I guess birds have cloacas.
Anyway, what was it?
Did you see the news this morning?
Yeah, I did.
Are we still gonna go to the Pride event? Or
They're gonna
what?
have to keep me away from there with riot shields and water cannons.
I can just imagine that. I just wanted to make sure.
No, we're definitely still going, or at least I am. What? You chickening out?
It's, just natural self-preservation.
Yeah. I can't say I blame you for that, but the point is, if we let them win, that's it. They've won.
Right. Yeah, it's the same old, isn't it?
It is.
The world's a shitty place, but we gotta fight anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, but there's a lot of echo when you're talking to each other.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad I'll have you with me then.
Well, you definitely will. I'm not staying at home, and I'm planning on looking those, whatever they are, squarely in the face and still march. And I'm planning on having a good time.
I'm thinking this is a stupid question, but do you have any body dyes?
Body dyes.
To paint a rainbow flag on ourselves.
Like for body painting.
Yeah. Oh, paint would probably be the right word, yeah?
Of course I have body paint.
Yeah, I figured it was a stupid question.
Jeez, I mean, come on. I'm getting on in years. I'm not dead yet.
There was something else I wanted to talk to you about.
What's that?
Well, the topic of lineage came up.
Right.
I don't suppose you remember any more than you've already told me.
About your dad?
Yeah.
Well, quite apart from the fact that he was the hottest piece of ass I've ever had the good fortune of bonking.
Do you think you could describe him to Sonny, so we could draw him?
I guess. Probably could.
Please, I think the face will be enough.
Oh.
You don't have to worry about that. Sonny won't.
I was about to say it was about yay long and yay thick.
That's great and all, but...
Yeah, I'm sure you would say that.
Dad. Well, that stuff is hereditary.
Oh, so that's where you got the taste from.
Now I'm confused.
I think we're killing Aya.
Well,
Do you think Jonas wants my mom? I can have his.
no, that would give him banality.
Oh, this is true.
Right, and I think that could be nice, don't you? To have a picture.
Yeah, sure. We can. I'm okay with that. I mean, Sonny's a really good artist, so you want to bring him over here, or am I going to his place, or what do we do?
Oh, it would be a disaster to bring you to his place. You'd just geek out about art for hours, and I'd be left standing in a corner not knowing what to do.
It's Sonny's place. I'm sure you and he would find something to do.
Not if he's busy geeking out with you.
I'm sure you would find some way of distracting him.
Mom, we're not a couple.
Yeah, you keep telling me that.
I mean, if it means you'll be less suspicious when I'm out too late, then sure.
I have seen the goo-goo eyes you send that boy.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do?
Yes, you do.
Are you trying to tell me something?
I'm trying to tell you that I think you make a lovely couple and you should do something about it.
Like him?
Yeah, now that you mention it. Or him, you, depending. I'm still not sure if you're a top or a bottom.
And I'm not discussing that with you.
What can I say? The woman has no filter whatsoever.
No.
And that's why you cannot embarrass him in public.
He's become immune.
Yes, he's had training from home.
Well, I'll see if I can arrange it with Sunny.
All right, no problem.
What, to be top or bottom?
I think we need to go to break.
I was actually just thinking the same thing, but we do need to finish this scene first.
We leave it this way. You're having too much fun.
No, I think Jonas will want to spend some quality time with his mom.
Yes, and she's very happy to do so. So, I think we're going to take our first break here. Ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, we will be back with more Copenhagen Dreaming in just a moment.